Hey, welcome to part 4. Okay, so part 4, as I mentioned at the end of part 3, part 4 is not necessarily something that everybody here will actually need to implement, but I would encourage you to go through these videos because, as I said in the last video, there's no harm, of course, in learning some of these new skills. They're only going to serve you well. So in this video, I want to talk about something called bridging. Now, let me explain what it is in this video. Then we'll go and do it in the next few videos, okay? So let's start with the obvious question. What exactly is bridging? What does that even mean? Well, bridging quite simply means sending a cryptocurrency from one blockchain network to another, okay? So it's sending cryptocurrency, Ethereum, for example, from one blockchain network to another. So let me give you a specific example of that. Imagine we got Ethereum in our Ethereum network, which some of you may have, because that's what we did in part 3, wasn't it? So if you've got Ethereum, think about what I'm saying here. I know it's a bit kind of takes a bit of focus, doesn't it? If you've got some Ethereum in your Ethereum network in MetaMask, if we want to send that Ethereum from your Ethereum network over to the BNB chain in your MetaMask, that means we bridge between the two networks, okay? So the question would be, well, why do we even need to do this in the first place? I'll tell you why. The short answer is as follows. The DeFi protocol that we're going to be really immersing ourselves from week 2, this is what's going to earn you the passive income, is built on the BNB chain, which used to be called the Binance Smart Chain. So everything has to kind of start, if you like, in the BNB chain, the Binance Smart Chain. Now, at the moment, if you've got Ethereum, remember we sent it to the Ethereum network. So your Ethereum right now is not on the BNB chain. And do you remember me saying if you've bought Ethereum, there's one extra thing that you need to do, and this is it. We need to send your Ethereum from the Ethereum network, where it is right now, keep with me, and we send it to the BNB network within your MetaMask. So we just kind of, it's like flipping channels, if you like. It's like the same TV show on 2 different channels. So that's what we're going to go and do. And you'll see it's not actually that difficult, but it requires a little bit of kind of thinking about. And the first time you see the kind of the bridge itself, it looks a little bit like, gosh, this looks a little bit kind of scary. So let's summarize. What did we accomplish in this video? We understood that we're going to be yield farming. When we eventually get to yield farming, which starts in week 2, we're going to be using a DeFi protocol that is built on the BNB chain. That's kind of what the network that it uses. That's a blockchain network that it uses. Therefore, any crypto that we deposit into this DeFi protocol has to, if you like, start on the BNB chain in the first place. It has to be there so we can kind of send it to this DeFi protocol. And right now, if you've bought Ethereum, it's not on the BNB chain. It's on the Ethereum network. So we need to bridge your Ethereum from where it currently is to Ethereum on the BNB chain. Now, if you already have bought BNB, then you're fine because that's already on the BNB chain. So do you remember me saying if you use Binance, you kind of don't have to do this step. If you use any other exchange where you bought something like Ethereum, or in other words, where you haven't bought BNB, then you have to do this bridge. Check you out learning all this stuff. Whew. Right, okay, so what do you do now? Nothing. Don't want you to do anything right now. Just want you to kind of, even if you have to play this video again, play it again. I'd like you just to kind of get familiar with it. I'm sure you sort of understand the concepts, don't you? So let's wrap up this video and let's continue with bridging in the next video. See you there in a moment. Oh, yeah, very very funny. Okay, let's carry on. So in this video, let's now go and take a look at a bridge. Okay, it just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So let's jump to Google. And here we are. Now, there's loads of these bridges we can use. The one in particular that I personally like is called Umbria. And this is what it looks like. And I'll put a link to this below the video. Now, one little quick thing. I see MetaMask is just open. Let me close that for a second. One little quick thing that you possibly might not know about Chrome. It's a nice little kind of handy-dandy short tip here and little kind of trick is if you want to save this as a shortcut on your browser, can you see at the top right-hand corner here, when you go to any address here, top right-hand corner, there's a little star there. So if you click on that, I'm going to do that right now. See, it says bookmark this tab. I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to save this. I'm just going to write bridge, and I click done. Now, imagine I go back to the web. So I go back to Google. Let's open up a new window here. And now, look here. It's a shortcut at the very top here. So it's kind of just handy. So if you've got any websites, I mean, you can use this for anything, not just crypto. If you've got any websites you go to regularly, you can kind of save them on the top here. So little tip there to help you. So let's go to this bridge. So we click on this bridge and right. So what have we got here? It looks a little bit overwhelming at first, doesn't it? Now, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to connect this with our MetaMask. So let's click on Mr. MetaMask up here. I think I'm logged out at the moment. Yes, I am. So let me get my password. Here it is. Just copying it. Let me log in. And I've now logged in. Okay, so I'm now logged in. Okay, so far so good. So let me just quickly give you a little guided tour of what we've got here. When it's broken down, it's not really that overwhelming at all. Essentially, we have two main areas here, as you can see, a send from and a receive on. Where are we sending our cryptocurrency from? Where do we want it to go to? So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? So let's think about this. We want our Ethereum to be sent from where? Tell me the network we're sending it from. I think you know this, but I'm just trying to keep you on your toes here. Make sure you're not scrolling through your phone and looking at Insta. We're sending our Ethereum from, what's the network called? You are correct. If you said the Ethereum network, you're absolutely correct. So therefore here we will be sending our Ethereum from, so in the drop-down menu here, let's choose Ethereum. There we go. And where are we sending it to? We're sending it to the BNB chain, aren't we? Used to be called the Binance Smart Chain. So look, sorry, Binance... yes, Binance Smart Chain. So it's got the old name here. So got to remember that there are two names for the same thing. So let's check that. Now, what we would do is let me look at MetaMask. So here in MetaMask, let's kind of this essentially what we're seeing here on the bridge is, if you like, going to be a mirror of what we can see in MetaMask. Let me clarify exactly what I mean by that. So look, here in MetaMask, we're in our Ethereum network, right? I know that you know this. And remember, we've transferred some Ethereum in already, haven't we? Here it is. Look, $196 worth of Ethereum, 0.07 Ethereum is in our MetaMask. And look here on the bridge. Can you see? It's showing exactly the same. There we go, 0.07. So the bridge, because we're connected to our wallet, is saying that in our Ethereum network, we have this amount of Ethereum, and we can send it, if we want to, wherever, and we're going to bridge it in this case to the Binance Smart Chain. Now, what that will mean then is that this Ethereum, looking at my MetaMask again, will disappear from here. And let me go to the BNB chain, and it will appear below here, below where the BNB is. So we're simply swapping Ethereum from one network to another. Simple as that. So that is how the bridge works. We're not going to do it right now, though, because, of course, there's something else we have to do first. There's always something else, isn't there? And that is as follows. In fact, let me quickly show you. So here we are now looking in the BNB chain, which is where our Ethereum is going to end up. But when you send anything to MetaMask, firstly, you have to add what is known as the contract address, something else for you to get your head around. What this means is, if I sent Ethereum here right now, we wouldn't actually see it, because we need to essentially say to MetaMask, hey, MetaMask, show me Ethereum when Ethereum is sent here. So we need to add here, under the assets, we need to add what's known as the contract address for Ethereum. So when we send Ethereum, we'll be able to see it. Otherwise, what can happen is we can send it, it will be there, but we just can't physically see it. You'll see what I mean when we do this. But for this video, I just wanted you really to get your head around a bridge. It's very, very simple. As I'm sure you will agree, we essentially go from one network to another on a bridge. So we're sending the same cryptocurrency between two networks. Good? Good. Right, let's summarize. And what do we accomplish in this video? Well, we talked about many different bridges, didn't we? Tower Bridge, Golden Gate, Brooklyn. You knew I was going to make a bridge joke. Bridge games, thank you.
Card games.
Card games, thank you.
Gymnastics bridges.
Thank you. Gymnastic bridges. Any others? You can come back to me. But there's also lots of crypto bridges as well, and we looked at one called Umbria. The link to that is below this video, and you may want to save it as a bookmark, as I showed you how to do earlier in this video. So what do you do now? Well, again, don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to do anything yet, because before we bridge, we do have one more thing to do, this contract address thing. So let's get our head around that. This is another great skill for you to learn. So let's go and do that in the next video. You thought of any other bridges? No, too late.